This is what I want us to achieve at the end of the day. I want us to view this dashboard. I already shared the data and the metrics that we would use for this. So please, if you want to join me on this journey, just open your Excel. We're going to use a Power Query today. We're going to use Power Query today to look at our data set, then build out our visuals. So open a fresh Excel document. Open a fresh Excel document. All right, I'll just start. Okay, so if you check the Excel, let me open it. You see that we have 3 data sets. Let me quickly open it. No, it's not this one. Apologies. Yes, it's. Okay, so we have 3 data sets we're working with today. We have the order data, we have the sales rep, and we have the returns. And before we start building, I would like to, for us to at least understand our data a bit. Just a quick summary of what this data is about. This is an order data, more like a logistics data generated by a logistics company. So we all place order. You go to an app or you go to Amazon and you place an order. And when you do, an ID is generated for you, for your order. Remember that most times when you place an order, your order can be multiple items, but it's all linked to one ID. An ID is generated, and that is the ID that will be used to process your order. You have an order date. That's the date you made this order. You have the date the order was shipped. Ship mode is, what do you want? Do you want first class or do you want same-day delivery? Your customer details are taken, your location, the product you ordered, your region, what's the category of this product. All those details are captured. What's the quantity, what's the amount, and did they make profit? All those information be captured here. There's also another table that has the sales rep, more like who is the sales rep for that region, who is pushing sales for that particular state or city. Then we have the returns table, and this returns table are those orders that you said, no, this did not meet my expectation. I don't want it, I will return it, right? There's a table that actually tracks that and tracks all your return products, and they are linked to the order. So basically, when your order is returned, they'll want to match it with what you ordered. So this is the order ID of this product that was returned, right? So this is the data we'll be analyzing. But I want us to work from a fresh Excel, and we'll be working with Power Query, all right? So we start with data. So we go to data to bring in this data set. Go to data to bring in this data set, and we go to get data from file. So you can get data into Excel from other databases as well, just like you have for other visualization tools. So you get from file, and it's from our Excel workbook. Is my Excel slow? Okay. Looks like I have to close the stuff I opened. Let's continue. So I click on the data set, which is the other data that we just discussed. And now these are the 3 tables: orders, returns, and sales rep. I want to select all, so I just check this box, select multiple. So I check this. So when I check it, I'll be able to view the table. So I check all. And I have load. So load will load my data. I have transform. I will click on transform and it will take me to Power Query directly. If I click on this load, it will load this data into this Excel sheet, Excel document that is open. So I'll click on transform to see if there are transformations or there are anything I need to do to this data before I start building my dashboard. Now this is my orders table. This is what it looks like. This is my returns. And this is my sales rep. Now my orders table has the column headers all intact. My returns has column 1, column 2. I could see that my returns, the column header for my returns is on row 1. So I will want to make it, push it up to take up this space. I want to push it up to take up that space. So I will use a function here at the top, use first row as header. Use first row as header. I'll click on that. And it has pushed that up to the top for me. So now I have for my returns table, I have returned and I have order ID as my column header. I go to the next table to see what it looks like. And I have the same thing as well. So I'll do same. I just click on use first row as header. And I have my sales rep and my region. Returns, orders. So we won't do much on this for now until we look at the metrics. If there are things that we need to do, like creating a new column, we will come back here. But for now, all I want us to achieve is to load the data. So I'm done. And I can load my data. But if you look at the, if you look at the right side of this table, you will see applied steps. So applied steps basically captures anything I do on this data, it will record it. So if I ever want to cancel, I will just click on X and undo. So if you've used Power BI before, you should have at least an experience with working with Power Query.
Maritha?
Right? Yes, please.
Some people are dropping messages in the chat. They are not following.
They are not following.
Yes.
Steps, how many steps backwards?
iPhone, how many steps backwards? You want that to start from the beginning?
I don't mind starting from the beginning.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start over again. All right. I have a blank Power BI because I want to work with Power Query, and I have multiple data sets. So this is not just one Excel sheet, and I just want to work with Power Query for my visuals. I can choose to copy this data here. I can choose to work from here, really. I can choose to just go to data and start working from here, but I want to have a blank sheet and just bring in my data. I want to assume that I'm working with a visualization tool. So I'm going to bring in data. So this is what your Excel looks like when you open it. You usually have home, insert, draw, page layout, and the like. So we're not working from home. We go to data. You go to data. You click on data, and on the left side, you will see get data. So get data is basically bring in the data you want to work with. What data do you want to work with? I click on the drop down, and I'll see the different options, the different sources I can bring in from file. So file is the data you have on your laptop or whatever you're working with. You have from different databases. Our data, I am using Excel. Okay, she's using Excel. Yeah, so from file, our data is Excel. So we're bringing in Excel workbook. We're bringing in the other data that I shared with you. That's what we're bringing in now. I'll click on that. So when I click on Excel workbook, it's asking me what data do you want? So I go to where I saved my other data. I go to where I saved my other data. I click on it and click on import. So what will happen is this. It will load all the tables that I have in that file. The tables I have on that file will be loaded, right? And I'm supposed to select the one I want to work with. What do I want to work with? I have to select it. Remember, it's not compulsory that you have to load everything. So you just select what you want to work with. And for this report, I want us to work with everything. So I just check this, select multiple items, so that I can be able to select all. So I check this one, this the first table. I check the second one. So when you check a table, you will see it, you'll be able to preview. So if it's not showing, it means that you haven't checked the box. So I select the third one as well, right? Then we have two options, load and transform. So load is, now you've selected the data you want, load them, load the data into Excel. Transform is, look at this data. Are there things you want to do to it? Are there changes? Do you want to delete a column? Do you want to rename a column? Are there transformations that you want to do on this data set? Do it before you load. So that is what transform is telling you. But transform would take you to Power Query, basically. So I would try to transform and see if there's something I need to do. So I just click on transform data. Okay. So I have it loaded now. All right. These are the three tables: orders, returns, and sales rep. You can see the table names. The one we're looking at now is orders. Now you can see all the column names. So basically what you're doing here, is you're looking at the tables to see, is it okay? Is my table in the right format? Do I have data quality issues? Is there something I need to delete? So you just go through your columns and check if it's okay. So for me, my orders table for now is okay. I go to returns. So my returns, I have a problem with it because my column header is showing column 1 and column 2, and this won't help me because I need to see what my column header is, right? So I need to promote this. I need to move my row 1 to become my column header. And there is a function that can help us with that somewhere at the top here, use first row as header. So I click on use first row as header, and it will promote it to the top. And for now, I'm good with my returns table. I go to the third one, which is my sales rep. And it's same thing. So I do same as well. Use first row as header. So if you look on the right side of this, you will see applied steps. And you'll see that there's something called promoted headers. So how do you go back when you make a mistake? You can undo. So this is it. So let me undo. Under apply steps, I will cancel promoted headers. I just canceled it. And you can see that what the stuff I did before, I've been able to undo it. So I'll just do it again. Use first row as headers. And that's done. Now I'm done. For me, for now, So I'm saying for now, because during your analysis or visualization, you might encounter something else and you want to come back here. So, but for now, I'm done. So what I would do would be to load this data into Power BI. So I just go here on the top left, under File, you will see Close and Load. So I load. I load. So it's asking me how you want to view this data in your workbook. If I click Table, it will view, I will see all the tables. It will bring in all the tables. If I click Pivot Table Report, it will just load a pivot table report for me. So I could actually click any one that I want, but because I want us to build visuals, let's just go to Pivot Table Report, Pivot Table Report, and I can use existing worksheet. I can use existing worksheet. So my data is loading. My data has loaded. Now this is the data set. Orders, returns, sales rep. Orders, returns, sales rep. So you can see all the column headers. So if I didn't change what I did on that data, what I would see when I promoted the header on returns, if I didn't do it, what I will have here will be column 1 and column 2. That's what I will have here, column 1 and column 2. So this data is loaded now. Now, we'll talk about something else before we continue. These 3 tables, the last time we had, the last class we had, we talked about VLOOKUP. We used VLOOKUP, and we were able to use VLOOKUP to populate columns based on an identifier. You can't see I can't see the new loaded data. Is it from my end or from your end? So for the VLOOKUP, we used an identifier to link tables together, right? That's what we did. We were able to identify order ID here, order ID in another table, and we use that to populate a column based on what we're looking for. But for this, what we would do would be to create a model by linking the tables together using what we call relationship. So we need to identify what's the relationship between these 3 tables. What's the relationship between the orders table and the sales rep table and the returns table? Now, the relationship between returns table and the orders table is the order ID. With the order ID, I will know the time the order was placed, and if the order was returned. I would know the details of the person, the customer that placed the order. So the identifier between this table and this table is the order ID. That's the identifier. Then sales rep. For this sales rep table, we have region here, and under orders table, we also have region. So we're going to use region as the identifier between this table, orders, and sales rep table. That's what we use to link the tables together. So that means we don't need to do VLOOKUP in order to use the 3 tables. Because if I am to use this table, normally if you're using Excel, the normal Excel, if I want to know the sales rep, if I want to bring the sales rep information here, I will use VLOOKUP. If I want to bring in orders that has been returned, I will use VLOOKUP. But through Power Query, I won't use a VLOOKUP for it. I will go and create a relationship. So let's do that together. So under Pivot Table Analyze, you would see relationship. I will try to auto-detect relationship and see if this, how do we generate relationship? So it's not detecting the relationship for me, but I will create one myself. Now, because I have already seen, I've looked at that relationship, the tables, and I can see the existing relationships. I know that I can link that together, so I can link it myself manually. I click on New. As discussed, the orders table, I identified order ID as an identifier and is related to the returns table using the same order ID. So if you can see, I selected table orders, column order ID, table returns, column order ID. And I click OK. They are linked now. I'll create the second one. I'm linking orders, and I'm also linking orders to sales rep using region. I'm using region to link orders to sales rep. I'm using region to link orders to sales rep. So this is based on your understanding of the data. So you look at this data, first of all, what is the story around this data? What is the process and what are the identifiers? So you know the identifier and you use that to link it. If you're using VLOOKUP, it's still that same identifier that you will use to link or to populate your column. So I click OK. So my tables are linked. All right. So we start with looking at the metrics that we need to be able to build this dashboard. These are the metrics, not a lot, just 5 of it, just 5 metrics. Total orders, total returns, average ship time by, it's supposed to be average ship time, not by day, but it's by day though. Minimum ship time and maximum ship time, right? And others. So we start with total orders. So we start building. So the first thing is we are looking at total orders. And our total orders is counting our order ID. We're counting our order ID. And this is it. These are total orders. Total orders. We've done it. First of all, before we build the visual, we create a pivot table. And that's what we just did now, the first one. So this answers the first one. And the second one is total returns. Total returns. So let's create one for total returns. Let's copy this. So total returns, we will be counting the ID under returns table. We will be counting the ID under returns table. So we drag this here. Let's call this total returns. Total orders. All right. Then we have average ship time, average shipping time. Now, looking at this data, when you place on your order, so if you place an order today, and it's shipped tomorrow, total order again, I'll do that. Average ship time. So if you place your order today and it's shipped the next day, that means it's 1 day, right? If you place today, some orders, you place it today and it's same day delivery. You place it today, it's sent it and it's shipped in 2 days' time. It's 2 days, right? So how do we get our ship time? We'll be looking at ship date minus the order date. We're looking at the ship date minus the order date. So you want me to do this again. So this is what we have, the pivot table. I remove this. Okay. Let me just do a copy of it. This is what we have. I checked the order ID and I moved it to values. So it will do a count. I moved it to values so it will do a count. And I just double clicked here to rename. Okay, so we want to do ship date minus order date. Ship date minus order date. So we come here. I'm looking for something. Hold on. Yeah. There's something that is missing. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's continue. All right, so here we would come back. We want to do ship date minus the order date. So we're going to create a new column. Ship date minus the order date. We're creating a new column. We're creating a new column. We go to add column. We go to add column and we select our ship date. Ship date.
Hi, Maritha.
Yes, please.
Please, can you start from the relationship bit again? Someone says they're lost from the relationship bit.
Okay. Relationship. Yep, okay. So I'll click on relationship and we need to understand the concept of that relationship, first of all. So I know I mentioned that we talked about VLOOKUP the last time. And one of the things that we did with VLOOKUP was to populate a column, using identifiers that exist between two tables. Now, order ID, we have order ID here as an identifier, and in returns table, we have it as well. So with this here and this here, we can link these two tables together. We can link orders and returns together. We can also link orders and sales rep together using region. We have region here, and we have region here. So we can link the two tables together as well. Now, how do we do that? We go back to our table here, and we go to relationship. So you can see relationship from data, and this is relationship. You can also see relationship from here as well. This is relationship. So I click on it. I'll delete the existing one. Okay, so we can do auto detect if the relationship is that Excel can pick it up, but it's not picking it, so I will just create it. So I click on new. Now, I said orders table. In my orders table, I have an order ID. And I know that this order ID is same as the order ID that I have in my returns table. So with that, I can link these two tables together. And I don't have to do VLOOKUP again. So I just click OK, and that's done. All right, and the second one, the table, I'm linking orders to sales rep. And I'm using region. And that's linked. So that's how you create a relationship. So with that, you can use the columns across the different data sets. When you're done, one of the things we're supposed to do actually is to refresh all. Yes. So that's done. Okay. So what we want to do now is just create a new column to calculate what's the number of days it took them to deliver an item. What's the number of days it took them to deliver an item? How many days did it take Amazon to deliver your item? We'll do ship date minus order date. That's what we're going to do. So we are going to add column, and we want to do ship date, order date. That's what we want to do. So we select that, and because it's a date column, I'll just go here, dates, click on the drop down, and I will see, and I'm using subtract days because I know that it's days. It's going to take, it took them days. So this is easier for me. There are other functions that you can use. If it's taking months and years for the delivery to come, there are so many functions, but this is quite easier, especially for a time like this. So I'll just do this. And I have my new column. As you can see here, you see the formula that was generated. So the function they used is duration.days. Duration.days. That's the function that was used to calculate this. So you can see duration.days bracket ship date minus order date. That's what they did. That's what we have here. And we have this. But they gave my column name subtraction. So I'll just double click on subtraction and call it shipping days. shipping days, right? So we have this. So with this now, we can calculate what's our average shipment days, what's our minimum, what's the maximum, and the like. So I've done this, and because I have added a new column, I have to close and load. All right, and when I close and load, I also have to refresh again. Okay. All right, so this is it. Returns, for you to get returns, you're counting all the order IDs that you have under the returns table. For you to get your orders, total orders, all the order IDs that you have in your orders table. That's it, just a count, basically, just a count. Okay, so what we have, the third here is average ship time. Average, we already have a column for shipment time, so it's just to calculate the average, which we can easily do. So we can copy this. We always have to copy because we need the pivot table. So we are basically copying the pivot table. So we do Control C and we tell the pivot table, this is where I want you to paste. And here, this is it, Control V. I'm hoping that I have my new column now, which is yeah, I have it now. Shipping days is here. So shipping days is what I will use. Shipping days is what I will use. I will remove this. Now I have shipping days, but I'm interested in average. I'm interested in average. So I come here and right click. I go to summarize values by, and I select average. Summarize values by, and I select average. So that's my average. So it's not even up to 4 days. That's the average. It's not up to 4 days. Let's assume it's approximately 4 days. So we're also going to look for minimum and maximum shipment days. Same field that we work with. Same field. So let's just do a double duplicate now. Remember, we have to copy the pivot table. That's why we're doing this. So here, what we would do would be to right click. And we select min. And we right click here. We select max. So the minimum is 0. So it's possible that you have a same-day delivery, 0 days, maximum 7 days. So 7 days could be other types of delivery. All right, so we've done that. So the next is count of exceptions of same-day delivery. Count of exceptions of same-day delivery. So what does this mean? Exception is usually something that didn't go as planned, right? So the plan is for you to deliver today, but it rained heavily and we couldn't deliver. Can you do the calculation here in pivot table instead of going back to Power Query? Which of the calculations? So today we're working with Power Query because we need to understand how to use it. Remember, you can bring in tables from database, not just Excel. All right, and the table and the data set can be so much. Count of exception is something that didn't go the way it's supposed to. So same-day delivery should be, we delivered this the same day, right? So are there times where we said we would deliver, but we didn't? There are times where we said we'd deliver, but we didn't, right? So let's try that and check. Yes, you can also do your calculation on Excel and do your calculation in Excel. And then, yes, there's calculated field. Yes, calculated field option. Yes, calculated field option in pivot table. All right, so let's try to do this one. So we're looking for ship mode. No, not ship date, please. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me you're going to spoil this. Not this one, this one. Let me remove this, please. Okay, so I have we're interested in same-day delivery, but we'll start with this ship mode. So we'll take our ship mode to filters, and we'll bring our orders. So we need to see the orders that weren't delivered. And we change this. So this is showing max shipping date. So let's remove this. No. Let's filter out this one to only same day. Yeah. And this is showing as max. So let me remove that space. Shipping days. All right. We're good. Okay. So the next thing we are looking at is for us to have an exception. So if it's a same day delivery, it means that the shipping days has to be 0. But what if it's not 0? If it's 1, then there's an exception. It means that that particular product was not delivered on that day. That particular product was not delivered on that day. So we're going to check the ship days and see if we'll find anyone that is not 0. Anyone that is not 0. So we uncheck 0 and leave others. We uncheck 0. We don't want the one that is 0. If it's 0, it means it was delivered on that day. So if it's not 0, it means that it wasn't delivered. So we have 12 that wasn't delivered on that day. So these are the exceptions. Okay. Trying to shuffle. Profit by sales rep, we're probably familiar with this one's profit by sales rep. So let's quickly do that. Then top 10 states by profit as well. Profit by sales rep. Let me copy the one that is small. Profit by sales rep. The shipping days. It depends on what you want me to do. So I will explain it, right? Same day delivery. So I try to use something we all can relate to. We all place order. You place an order and probably you place a birthday cake and you want it to be delivered that day, right? So it shouldn't count as one day. It has to be 0. If it wasn't delivered that day, it's already a problem because you're supposed to give someone a birthday cake on their birthday, not a day after, right? So if it's not, is an exception. So we're trying to identify which orders were not delivered. It means that the shipping days, the difference between the day it was ordered and the day it was shipped is more than 0. That's what we did. So the first thing we did was to identify that it's same day. So we use this as a filter. We filtered out for same day. Then the second thing we did was to filter out the ones that are 0. If you are a 0, then you are not my problem. My problem is the ones that are not 0. And that is why we have these ones. I don't know if that is clear. So we have 2 filters. The first filter is same day, right? The second filter is is not 0. So this is also what you can do in Excel, where you probably write an if statement. If same day and 0, then not an exception. If same day greater than 0, it then is an exception. So I'm taking you back to the previous class. So my expectation is that you were in the first class before you joined this one. But if you're not, please, you can always watch that recording. Okay, so let's quickly do profit by sales rep. I think, let me be sure. Yeah, profit by sales rep. Now, looking at profit by sales rep, remember that we have sales rep in a different table, and we have profit in a separate table. So we are going to bring these two together, and we don't need a VLOOKUP because we've already created that relationship. We don't need a VLOOKUP for it because we already have created that relationship, right? So quickly check profit. Yes. And we want to bring in sales rep. So this is done. Profit by sales rep, done. Top 10 states by profit. Top 10 states by profit. Top 10 states by profit. So we have profit here. All we need to do is just bring in states. Yeah, so that's our state. I did not get this sum of profit. Which of them now? So remove profit from here, go to the top and just check profit, and that's it. And that's it. I don't know why this keeps selecting each other. Did you get that now? I'm looking for my top. Okay, so let me see. I need to understand, can you ask the question so that I'll be able to answer better? Because you just need to check the box for profit and it will be under values. Check that your profit, it definitely will be under value because it's a number column. It's a number column, so it should be under value. But if if there's something else, maybe you can ask the question better and I will answer you. All right, so top 10, this is my top 10 by sum of profit. And that's it. So we have that. I think we're almost done. Trend of orders. So trend is basically line charts. And when we are building the visual, we will show the trend of orders. And we'll show that. Then profit by segment. We have a segment and it's still profit. So it's basically the same thing as well. Profit, then segment. I'll just copy this and change sales rep to I'll just change sales rep to segment. Okay, so let me hurry a little because we are almost, this is past 9. All right, so we'll start building. This is what I hope that we achieve. I hope that we're able to achieve this tonight. Let me show you the guide. I hope that we're able to achieve this. So the first thing I'll do would be to have this layout, which is to remove the grid line. That's the first thing I'll do. Then the second thing would be to put this here and put the title of my chart, and I'll create a slicer. So I'll go to a new sheet. I've created my pivot tables. For you to create dashboards, you need to create these pivot tables. It's not compulsory that you create all at the same time, but at least you need a pivot table that you will link to your chart. That's how it works, right? You need a pivot table that you will connect to your chart. So I have created my pivot tables. Let me create my dashboard. So I'll go to a new sheet and call it dashboard. I call it dashboard, and I go to view, and I will uncheck my grid line. I go to view, and I'll check my grid line. I go to insert, I select shape, and I'll select any of these shapes. I'll just select this one that has a bit of style and swag to it. I will just drag it to any length I want, and that's it. And I will just insert a text box. Insert a text box and call it order analysis. Order analysis, I will highlight it and I would increase the font size. I will go to shape format and I will, so I'm trying to format this shape, text fill, outline, no outline, no. Shape fill, no fill. I don't want I also don't want any outline. Then for this text, I select my text, go to home and change it to white. All right, so I have it, order analysis. That's okay, I see. All right, so I have this now. The second thing I want to do is to bring in my slicers. These are all slicers, everything here. Year, month, region, sales rep, slicers. I would add that now. So I'll add my slicers. Let me reduce the
What
size.
did not ask for adult supervision?
These children, you know children.
No, it's not.
Yo, can you help me mute who needs to be muted, please? All right, so I'll just add my slicers. And for me to add slicers, I have to add it from here because this is where the slicers needs to be linked to a table. So it has to be added from here as well. So I can just select any of these tables and I would go to insert and I have slicers. Right? So I select the slicers I want to. So I want to insert a I'll just make it fast. It mustn't be the same thing. So I'll just insert a segment slicer. I'll insert a month slicer, a year slicer, and I'll probably also insert a sales rep slicer. And I click OK. So these slicers are showing here now. I have the first one. These are the slicers now. So for this month slicer, with the way it's looking is too long. So I go to the top here. This is just under slicer. You just format it a little. So I would rather select like 3 columns. Yeah. Do this way. So this is my slicer. My segment is okay. This is the way it is. And my year slicer, I can make it 2 columns. Oh no, I did not this one. My year slicer, I can make it 2 columns. My sales rep, I can make, no, it's long, I can make it, well, I can leave it as it is. So I'm done with it from this page. So I will cut out, I can cut it. So I'll just select all the slices. And I'll bring them here. I'll bring them here. I press Control down and clicked on each of them. Press Control down and clicked on each of them. So if we're not able to design all because of time, we can always just do the ones that I feel are needed, and that's why I'm rushing. But I won't rush too much. So I've done the slicers. Now let's do this. I probably will do 2 of this, and of course we can always do others, but I just want to touch every area. So total order, total returns. Let's show that. So I think what I'll do, instead of bringing in different shapes, I'll bring in one shape and just work with it. All right, so this is where I'm building from. Let me bring in a shape for us to show our total orders. But for this shape, I would like the color to be different. So let me fill it with something a bit lighter. Or maybe a bit of color as well. Reduce it a little. All right, so I have this shape and I want to bring in total order. So I go to insert as well and select text box. And I'll put my text box here. This is my text box. I leave my text box and go to the top where I have the function. And I click equals. So I want to link this text box to what I have here. So I click my equality sign. I go to sheet 1 and I take total order, that's the name. And I click enter and it appears here. And it appears here. I will leave the formatting for later. I'll leave the formatting for later. So I have total order. I just do Control C, Control V. And because my total order is already A1, if you can see this total order is A, column A, row 1. My value is column A, row 2. So I don't really need to bother. I just come here and remove 1 and write 2. Please, if you didn't understand that concept, just let me know. So I have my total order. Remember, I haven't formatted, so I'll leave formatting for later. All right, so we can be able to touch all. So I've been able to do total order. I've brought that in. And I will do same across for orders as well. Control C, Control V will be my total returns is A5 and the value is A6. If you didn't understand that, please let me know. So I'll just do A5, enter, that will come up. Control C, Control V as well. and the value will be A6. Enter 800. So we're making progress already. So we will just do this quickly. It can be better, but it's not. So we roll with it. So I want to show the other ones. Now the next one we're showing is our average shipping date. That's A9 and A10. So we quickly do that as well. A9. A10. The other one is 13 and 14, then 17 and 18, right? 13, enter. Remember, if you don't understand what I'm doing, please ask me, but I will assume you do. 17 and 18. So this is why it's actually better to just have this done already. So I have done all these metrics just right now. Great. So we move to showing these ones are pretty easy. Sales rep by profit, sales profit by segment. So we do that. We select sales rep is here. Yeah. And we are inserting we insert the chart we want. We can insert this one. Click OK. So this is sales rep by profits. I'll just double click on total and I will rename. I'll format this. I'll format it, just hang in there for me, please. I have by segment as well. I'll select that and insert. Sorry, select all of this. Sorry, what's the problem? Oh, I was looking at something else. Okay, pie chart. I can take this one. Click OK. So I'll just take these ones. Profit by segment. I'll just take this to the other side. Wait, do I still have people on the call? I've just been flowing like I'm talking to myself.
Yes, we are still together.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm not used to the silence. Okay,
You still have 30 people on the call.
Oh, great. Okay, so I know we're supposed to format our charts. I know that, but because we're working with time, I want to be able to do other things. I know formatting is like the basic thing to do. All right, we're here. Thank you, HP. Okay, so we have this one, which is also just showing the trend of order. So we have the month to use and we have profit by stage. I think we've done all this. It's just to convert it to So we have the state here. All right. Yeah, we have that here. I'm lost. I don't want to take you. I'll stick on the recording. Okay. Hi, iPhone. Insert. I will just insert this as well. Bar. And this is the state. All right. Then the trend, well, we didn't do the trend, so we just have to do the trend. We didn't do the trend at all. So just copy this, paste. There's something wrong with this. Let me copy this one. Oh, great. So instead of using segment for this, remove the field and go to others. We already have the date. So there was a time I clicked on ordered ship date and this whole thing populated. So when you click on date, it will split your date into year, month, and day. So let me do that now. I'll just check order date. And something will happen. Yeah, so it has shipped, it has done it. So you will have the year, month. That's not what I want. I just want the date. I just want only month. So I'll remove what I don't need. I need just month. This is what I need. So I'll just select that. And I will insert. I can come here and select my line chart, or I can select the other one that I saw. These ones are stuck. So, trend of orders. So you want to know how are we doing? Do we have a decline? Do we have more people placing order and the like? So I'll just select this, and I will take them out to here. See, our dashboard is looking good. So one of the things I can quickly do with the formatting is to come here and turn on detail label, which is really good. You need to see, no, not the grid line. I don't want grid line. I don't need the legend. Oh, because I reduced it, so it became so, yeah. Turn on my detail label. That's what I want to do. Turn on these values. It's one of the things that is really key because you need to see the values of the chart. But we'll come to that. So I have created this. All right. Now, the only thing remaining here is this table, the second page. So I'll just quickly, we'll just create a random table. So we'll go to page 2. So what we would do would be to duplicate this. But before we do that, the slicers need to filter the charts. That's why they are here. They need to filter the chart, but most times they don't. So you need to connect the slicers to the pivot, all the pivot tables that you created. You need to connect the slicers to all the pivot tables that you created. So you right click on the slicer and you go to report connection. And you see, you need to check all this. So any table, pivot table that you want the slicer to filter needs to be checked. So it's more like I'm linking this slicer to have the power, I'm giving you the power to do as you please on this chart. So you need to connect the slicers. So now you see that this particular slicer that I have linked can filter this chart. Please, did we understand that? At least for this one. Please tell me yes if you did. Tell me yes. Someone should say yes, please. Say yes, thank you. All right, so we're supposed to do this across all the slicers. I've done one report. Let me continue. So I've done one of it. I'm supposed to do this across and ensure that they are all linked. If I click on this, I'll go to report connection and link as well. So that's it. Now let's go. So I'll just duplicate this page. I'll go to move or copy. I'm doing this because I don't want to recreate everything I've done. So I just move or copy and I call this dashboard 2, or I can just call this table because I want to create a table here. And I will delete these ones. I'll delete these charts because I don't need them here. I can also delete this one as well. Just that you have, I had to delete all these ones too. It's not deleting, stay there for now. Okay, so I'll just insert a table. From our pivot table. Let's just create something. Let's start with, let's just duplicate this. Control C, Control V. So profit by sales. Let's put profit. Let's add quantity. That's the orders placed. Let's add it as count of orders. Let's add discount. Let's add quantity of items. And maybe also add region. All right. So we can copy this now. And paste here. Oh, this is not a lot. Oh, something is filtering this page and it's corporate. Oh, something is filtering this page. What's this showing? Okay. All right, so we have this table. I don't want this one too. All right, so let's go to design and let's turn this table to a show in tabular format, sorry. We want it to show this way. So we went to design, please. I can undo what I did. I clicked on design, report layout, show in tabular form. So this is showing this way now. All right, and for us to have those bars that we have here, the bars you have here, you go to conditional formatting. You go to conditional formatting and you go to new rule. So I'm basically saying, no, sorry, I need to select the value. Conditional formatting, I go to new rule. So I want anytime all cells showing sum of profit value for region. I want you to show as a data bar, add a data bar layer. I want to show gradient fill, not a normal fill. I want to have a color shade like this, and I click OK. That's it. I can also do it for this one as well. conditional formatting, new row, data, not icon. You can also use icons. You know, sometimes maybe if you're looking at, you're setting a condition and you want to say something like, if this value is greater than, is up to the KPI, maybe KPI is 50,000 pounds or something. If it's more than 50,000, so let it be green. If it's lower than, let it be red. If it's close to maybe amber or something like that. So you use conditional formatting for that. So we'll just quickly do this one. Oh, it didn't go down. Maybe. Okay, so we have this one. Why did you not go down? Did I not select the right thing? Okay, selected cell. Oh, that's why. All cells showing count ID value by region. Yeah. Gradient fill, color, and okay. Yeah, went down now. So the next thing on this particular data set, no, on this dashboard is this. So this is like a link. If I click on this, it takes me to the dashboard view. If I click on this, it takes me to the table view. So this is an arrow. You can get that from your insert. Is an arrow. You can get that from your insert. So we go to insert, shapes, arrow, forward arrow. We draw it here. And we can say table view. So we want to see the table view. And for this arrow, we can format shape and fill it white. Oh, my table view needs to be black. Needs to be black, yeah. All right, so now that I have this, I right click on it. I right click on it and I link. So I click on link, right? Hyperlink. I go to place in this document and I select table and I click OK. That's it. So whenever I click on this, when I click on this, it takes me to table view. So I come here, I add another arrow, insert, shapes, backward arrow. I quickly fill that white, and I write dashboard. And I select that text and change it to black. So I do the same thing. So if you didn't catch the first one, you do it now. Right click on it, link it, place in this document and select dashboard. So with that, when I click on this, it takes me back to dashboard. Now, the exciting thing is this. I can choose to hide this sheet. I'm assuming that I'm done, so I hide, right? And another thing I can do to show that I'm too good is that I go to File, Options, go to Advanced, scroll down, hold on. And I remove this Show Sheet Tabs and I click OK. So it removes the sheet tabs and it just restricts the user to enjoying this. I know that I didn't format the charts, but I was also trying to look at time as well. But so far, please, I have covered some of the things. Throw the questions. If you are in our WhatsApp group and there is a concept you didn't understand, I am ready to do small, short videos to probably send it across for the formatting or any bit that I didn't get, right? But I think for now, I'll stop. you.